Welcome back to the Andrea Giovino Show. I'm here with Toby today, and we're going to go into war in politics, being that there's so much controversy with the Zelenskyy, Trump, and what's your feelings about it, Toby? I mean, I watched the whole thing.
So my feelings are it's a complicated situation. I feel like we already interjected ourselves into this war with Ukraine. By being their ally, we essentially, without putting boots on the ground, went to war with Russia without physically shooting at them. So it's political chess is what I feel has been being played since this whole thing started. The United States, NATO, Ukraine is getting the support that they need. Because the world does not want Russia going in and taking over Ukraine, because it becomes an issue. It becomes a world issue at that point. Mm-hmm. So we already essentially, without physically being at war, I feel to some degree we are at war based on the financial support we've already given to the Ukraine. So now this whole situation that happened the other day with Zelenskyy, Trump, Vance, I mean, they ultimately humiliated the guy. He's also...
Well, I think they've had it with him being so unappreciative. That's basically what, a lot of Americans, a lot of people that I've had conversations with have said, what's wrong with America? We keep giving and giving and giving and giving, and he keeps taking and taking and taking and taking. Like he keeps coming back asking for more and more and more. And we have our own problems here in our own country. There's so many people of senior citizens that can't live themselves, and we're giving to him. So people are resentful. Yeah, I feel bad for him, but people are resentful. And I think Trump is right. And show some appreciation.
I listen, I completely agree with what you just said. At the same time, we did start a fight, and it's a fight now. I feel, being that we've already interjected ourselves into this fight and into this war, it needs to now be finished. Hopefully, it could be stopped.
Well, I'm sure Trump can come in, and that's what he's trying to do, and that's what he proposed to do, is make peace. But Zelenskyy is the one that's holding off on that, and Trump is right. Why should we continue to keep giving, and there's so much money that's unaccounted for? They don't know where it went. So
that's always the problem: political corruption.
Yeah.
Where are all the military supplies going? Where's the money going? So on and so
people,
forth.
As myself, elected for Trump to be the man he is being, and making America great again, and making America the strongest country in the world. On top of that, we can't have people taking advantage of us either.
I get what you're saying, and you know what? I voted for Trump too, but I don't like what they did the other day. They totally humiliated him and J.D. Vance. I don't like what they did. They bullied the guy's fighting. Zelensky's fighting for his country. Yeah, he keeps asking, but he's fighting for his country. He's fighting for the lives of his people.
Okay, but they know a lot more than you know. They're probably pissed off, and they're not going to say everything out in the media. Where's all the unaccounted money for? Where is it, Zelenskyy? Okay, so there's a lot.
And it doesn't appear he could really competently, or doesn't want to answer that question in its entirety.
So I think that they have their agenda. I don't think they just came in like bullies. I think there's a lot more that we don't know, and we're just scratching the surface of what's being said to the American people. And Trump did say, I want the American people to understand actually what is going on. And we've never seen anything like that before. And I kind of thought it was good that we were able to see this, and that how we have such a strong president, which we haven't had that in many, many years. He's a powerhouse, that man. You got to admire that. You got to admire the fact he is a strong individual that wants the best for this country. Is he diplomatic? Is he polished? No, sometimes he goes off the cuff, and sometimes he doesn't speak like a regular politician, but he's a businessman. You got to give him that. You got to give him that.
Look, I'm going to say this again. I voted for him.
I did too.
But I don't like the way they treated that guy publicly. I felt like it was,
Maybe they have their own.
you know, that should have been done. If you wanted to talk to him like that could have been done in a private setting. Okay, you know, the way J.D. Vance spoke to him was like he was like a little kid. It did not have to be done. It did not have to be handled that way unless this is a political play. This is a political play to somehow appease Vladimir Putin, to somehow bring an end to the war. I do believe that that's a possibility.
I think Trump knows what he's doing.
That he knows
That's
what
my
he's doing.
feeling.
They played a game. Zelenskyy looked scared. I don't know if Zelenskyy knew what was going on, but it appeared Trump and Vance knew what they were doing.
Zelenskyy probably looks scared and worried because maybe we, like Trump said, the well ran dry.
They can't win the war, though. They cannot win the war.
They can't win the war without us backing them. And I think why he was scared, he's scared because he said, we're not going to help you no more. Like, how are we benefiting from this? What do we get pulled into this for? What are we draining everything, our funds for?
I do believe, and this is what I do. This is what I do like about Trump. I do believe there'll hopefully be some type of a negotiation that at some point will benefit the United States and somehow trying to recoup something out of this. I mean,
why should we keep giving?
We shouldn't just have to be footing bills for other countries.
No.
I mean, at some point, we are bleeding financially.
Even before Trump came into office, I kept saying, he keeps coming back, asking for more and more and more. And when it's all our taxpayers' dollars, why do we have to keep giving them? We're not even involved in this war.
No, I agree.
And then I know what you're saying about J.D. Vance, but he felt that this guy's not even being appreciated. He doesn't appreciate it. He's not even saying thank you. He's sitting like entitled. I'm entitled. You have to help me. No. He made it clear. And I like when Trump said to him, don't tell me what we're going to feel. You don't know what we're going to feel.
Yeah, that was a little out of line, but
he was out of line.
Listen, it was out of line, but I also believe it was a cry for help. I don't believe he expressed himself well. I believe that's what it was.
How come he knows how to express himself? Where's the money? That's all I want to keep saying. Where's the money? Tell us where the money is, the unaccounted money. Did you hide that money for years and years for your family, along with Biden? Who knows where the money went? People want answers, and I like that Trump is pushing him to the mat.
Well, I believe it's not just about money. It's about goods. So when we're talking the financial dollar amounts, it's military supplies.
Yeah, it's everything.
It's so many hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars at a time in
billions
military supply. But they get in different increments at different times. They're not just handing it to them in one lump sum. So they want accountability, and we should have accountability. I agree. We should absolutely have accountability.
100%.
I do believe Vladimir Putin's a madman. What he did in this particular situation with this war on Ukraine, he's not only killing the Ukrainian people and destroying an entire country. Look at what he's doing to his own people. You know how many Russian soldiers are dead and how many families got?
I know, but look at what President Trump said to Zelenskyy. If you don't make peace, you're killing more and more people. Your people are dying. You're not going to win this war.
There is a twist. There's a flip side to that coin of making peace. I believe Zelenskyy wants peace. You're dealing with a guy like Vladimir Putin that you can't trust what he says. It comes to some type of deal, and then he flips the script. Putin cannot be trusted. Putin is probably one of the most dangerous psychopaths in the world right now.
Well,
with all of the dead Russian people alone from this war, the dead Russian soldiers, he should want to put an end to it if he cared about his people.
Well, so I'm going to debate. So should Zelenskyy.
I believe Zelensky's wanted an end to the war from the beginning.
I know, but he's not doing what they're telling him to do now. He's saying sign the paper, sign the contract. That's why he was supposed to go to the White House, and he didn't. Nothing that came of it. So Trump is saying the minute you sign, we could start a peace. We can get to a. I can tell you it's. And he's saying, but there's no guarantee. That's what he's saying. He doesn't trust Putin's word. because Putin has said things and then he comes in and he bombs again.
So there's a bigger.
But there's a big difference. Trump is involved now. He didn't have Trump. He had Biden, which Biden was weak, and everybody knows he's weak.
At the same time, where this country sits, okay, where Ukraine sits in the world, okay, I believe this is a political power move of chess between the United States and Russia to have military installations within Ukraine. You know, it's a complicated situation. If there's nuclear, if the United States of America has nuclear warheads in Ukraine aimed at Russia, it weakens Russia. If Russia takes over Ukraine and they're able to put their nuclear warheads inside Ukraine and they take over that country, there's a problem now for all of Europe.
Europe is backing Zelenskyy. They're backing Ukraine.
They're backing Ukraine because Russia is a threat to them. Okay,
Right.
Russia and China are the two biggest threats to the United States and Europe. Okay, so Russia doesn't want nuclear powers right next to them,
No, of course not.
or additional military where that's a greater threat to their country right there, right on their borders from the United States. So it's problematic for Russia if the United States and NATO is heavily armed in and around Ukraine. That's a problem. Now, on the other side of that, it's a problem for us and all of these European countries. If Russia comes in and takes over Ukraine, they're the threat now. So a deal needs to be made here, essentially. You know, Trump, I believe, is the guy that could come in and hopefully make the deal. So it seems like he had a plan before he stepped into office.
I hope so.
On this second term. And I hope he has a plan. I hope he didn't just walk in there and humiliate Zelenskyy just to pull a power move. I hope there's a plan.
I think there's a plan in place.
There's a strategic plan behind this. I believe there is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, based on previous, you know, actions and how we've seen this man act as a leader in the past, I'm hoping that's the case. He is a little bit of a loose cannon. That's the truth. I mean, you know, he's somewhat of a loose cannon. We don't know. We'll
I don't know what you mean by a loose cannon. He's not going to put the American people at risk. He's not. He cares about America. He cares about the people. I believe that.
I believe he does care about doing a good job for this country.
He does. He does. That's why you voted for him.
It is.
Is he hot-headed? Yeah. Does he fly off the cuff? Yes, he does. But he's not a polished politician. What is the difference between him and a polished politician? The polished politicians sometimes are the biggest scammers. Okay? This guy is real. He's real. He's the real deal. Yeah, he might not be polished, but you could see. Like, he says he's passionate about what he says. There's nothing fake about him.
He tries to do a good job for the most part with this country.
I mean, in 6 weeks, is it 6 weeks?
No, he went right to work. He said before he came into office, like his plan was to start working day one.
And he did.
And he did. And that's one thing you got to respect, whether you like him or not. Listen, there's a lot of people that don't like him. You know, there's a lot of people that voted for him.
Listen, there's more people that like him because he's the president.
I agree.
He did become the president.
I agree, but a lot of people that voted for him too have issues with how he handles stuff, including myself.
Okay,
I voted for him, and you know, I did. I voted for him twice.
But you have to understand.
I don't agree with how he handles a lot of things, but I still voted for him.
But you have to understand, like I just said, he is not your normal polished politician that stands up there and tells the American people what they want to hear.
That are bullshitting everybody.
Exactly. He's not that. And that's what I do like and admire about him.
Yeah.
He's real.
Yes.
He's real. That's what I like about him. But with that, we're going to close out.
Okay.
And thank you again. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to subscribe. Thank you, Jesus. And press that subscribe button.
Hit the button. I keep telling you people.
Hit that button.
Hit that button.
See you next time.
God bless.
That's good. It was good.